Hello and welcome back to Yoga with Maggie. Today we have a strengthening practice and an opening practice. So strengthening for the legs and the upper body and opening the front of the body, particularly across the chest and for the hips. I hope you enjoy. We're going to start off in child's pose. So on your knees, leaning back. If that's not comfortable for you, then obviously you can cushion with a folded blanket between your calf and your thighs, or you can put something underneath your knees. Adjust it to how you feel. So stretching the arms long in front of you, pressing the hips back to the heels, forehead resting on the floor. Maybe take a little side to side stretch, finding your comfortable place, settling there, and then just noticing how your body is feeling this morning. So are there any niggles, in which case you need to be aware of those when you're practicing. Notice your breath. Take a full breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Once more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then just return your breathing back to its normal rate. Then we're going to come up over the top of hands and knees, checking that our hands are underneath our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips. So as you take a breath in, you're going to sweep that right hand forwards as far as it will go. And then on a long, slow exhale, you're going to draw the arm and the body back to the heels so that your right arm is reaching past your right toes. Then as you inhale and kneel up, you're going to make a big circle with your right arm, looking up at that thumb until it lands back where we started. So exhaling the arm back, slowly, slowly, slowly. Inhaling the arm up, watching that thumb, slow exhale back. Drawing the breath in as you reach up with that arm and place the right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Same again on the left, so reaching forward as you inhale. Slow exhale, slow as you like, reaching back. Then as you inhale, reaching up, looking at that thumb, biggest circle you can make, and then exhale the hand back, sitting back on the heels, inhaling the arm up, reaching as far forwards as you can. Once more, exhale slow, and inhale all the way up, and placing the hand back underneath the shoulders. This time with your right hand reaching forwards, your left leg reaches back, and you're just going to lift those up to the height of your shoulder and your hip, and then you're going to touch down. So as we lower the arm and the leg, it's an inhale. As we reach up, it's an exhale. Pressing down, pressing up. Inhale, exhale. Then hold the stretch, flex the back foot, bend the back knee, sweep the right hand round to reach your foot, press that foot up into your hand, and as much as your back will allow, early class, see if you can concentrate on the thoracic spine bending, that's the top part of your spine, just below the neck, and see if you can get that to give a little more. Feel your chest opening and then stretch back out. Place that hand and knee back on the floor. Reach the left hand out, stretch the right leg behind you, lift the arm and leg, press them down and reaching up. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Once more, inhale, exhale. Hold the stretch, flex the back foot, bend the back ankle, reaching round with your left hand, finding your foot or your ankle and pressing that foot up into your hand. Feel the ground pressing away from you, from your right hand, and then stretch to open out and place that hand and knee back on the floor. Rounding up into the top of cat, reaching your spine towards the ceiling or the sky, if you're lucky enough to be outside, and then inhaling, opening the chest, lifting the tailbone, exhale into pose of the cat, inhale into pose of the cow, exhale once more, and inhale back to a neutral spine, so a flat spine. Then you're going to take your right foot and you're going to step it to the outside of your right hand. Maybe wiggle that left knee back slightly so you're in a low lunge. Let the hips sink down towards your mat. And while your hips are just getting used to that, you're going to leave your left hand on the floor and you're going to stretch up with your right, following it with your gaze if your neck allows, and then place that hand back on the floor. Let's try that again. So reaching up with the right hand and placing it back on the floor. Once more, reaching up and then placing it back on the floor. Hopefully your hips are becoming a little more accepting of this position. So then you're going to let your right knee fall outwards and you're going to come onto the side, the outside edge of your right foot. So again, we're encouraging these hips to open. Don't put too much pressure on that knee, and you might find that that knee doesn't go very far out at all, but that's fine. Then bring that knee back in, foot flat on the floor, both hands on the floor, bring the right knee back and step the left foot forwards next to your left hand. If you need to wriggle the right knee back a bit, that's fine. So again, we're just getting these hips to accept that they are sinking downwards, keeping the right hand on the floor, sweep the left arm up, looking up there with your gaze and with your chest if you can. Bringing that hand back down, exhaling the arm up, inhaling it back down. Once more, inhaling on the way down, trying to sink those hips a little further towards your mat, then placing your hand gently on the inside of your left knee. Just let that knee fall outwards if it will, coming onto the outside edge of your left foot. So just give that a moment, see how your hips are feeling. And then bring that knee back in, foot flat to the floor, step it back onto all fours and back up into the top of cat. Dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, opening the chest into pose of the cow, and then back up into pose of the cat, tucking the toes under, lifting the tailbone, having a little pedal out of your feet, and as you do that, walk them towards the front of your mat, and taking a breath in, coming all the way up to Tadasana. So checking that you've got your feet grounded, your centre of balance in the middle, maybe having a rock backwards and forwards or side to side or round and around, maybe lifting up all 10 toes, spreading them out and placing them back on the floor. Then with a breath in, we're going to dive forwards off our hips, reaching the hands to the floor for a deep forward fold. Your knees can be bent or straight. Taking a breath in, coming up halfway, lengthening the spine, creating space, and then exhaling, forward fold. Taking a breath in, reaching up and diving forwards, exhale. Coming up halfway, hands to shins, lengthen the spine, exhale, forward fold. Once more, reaching up, diving forwards as you exhale. Coming up halfway and forward fold. So coming halfway up, stepping back with your right foot and then your left, we're going to come to downward facing dog. Again, have a little pedal, maybe a sway of the hips. A few clicks today. And then coming up onto your toes, reaching high as you can, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, slowly lower the heels towards the mat. Try and close that gap between your chest and your thighs, drawing the shoulder blades towards the outer edges of your body and drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Spreading the weight in your hands, so not all in your wrists. Give some of the weight to your fingers. Fingers are spread. And then knees to the floor and sit back to child's pose. Coming up over the top of cat again. Dropping the belly towards the floor, lifting up into pose of the cow, back to pose of the cat, tucking the toes under and back to your downward dog. So from here, where your feet are, you're just going to move them forwards about the length of your foot, so you're in a much shorter downward dog. Then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to reach it either to your calf or your ankle, and you're going to look underneath your right armpit. Once you're there, if you can, you're then going to turn your chest as if you're turning yourself inside out, so towards that right hand side. Taking a nice breath in and out. This is called spiraling downward dog. Place the left hand back on the floor. Take your right hand and reach it either to your left calf or your left ankle, and then look under that left armpit, trying to get your chest through underneath that left armpit, trying to keep your heels as in contact with the floor. So if that means stepping in a bit, do so. And then placing that right hand back. We'll try that once more on each side. So left hand to left calf or ankle. See if there's any more twist this time. Breath in
place that left hand back on the mat, right hand to right calf or ankle, looking under that left armpit, chest following, breathing, and exhale. Place that hand back on the floor, and then we're going to take the feet back to our normal downward dog position and have a little pedal out, so sway the hips, and then you're going to step your left foot through between your hands, and you're going to sweep your arms up as you take a breath in, and we're in runner's lunge. So from here we're going to do 3 knee dips, so the back knee is going to bend and just gently touch the floor and then come back up to runner's lunge. So dip number 2 and dip number 3. Hold that stretch, then you're going to reach your chest and your arms forwards, and then as you take a breath in, you're going to straighten the front leg, sweep your arms back to your hips and lift your back foot into warrior 3. From here, making sure you've got your balance, we're going to do 3 slow knee bends. So that's 1. Here comes number 2. The further you stretch out with your back leg, the easier the balance will come. After the 3rd one, step gently back to your runner's lunge, and then we're going to open into warrior 2. So checking that that front knee is going out towards your little toe, checking that the back heel is a little further towards the back of your mat than your toes, tailbone tucked under, crown of the head reaching long, gaze is forwards over your front fingers. From there, drop the right arm, lift the left into your reverse warrior, straighten the front leg, coming back up, stretching the arms, gliding forwards and tilting into triangle pose, keeping the hips tucked underneath you, and then coming back up to warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, straighten that front leg, turn your toes forward so you're facing the long side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, folding forwards with a flat back, reaching the hands towards the floor, followed by the crown of your head reaching towards the floor. Feeling the stretch up the back of your hamstrings. You can have your knees bent if you need to. Then coming up halfway, right hand underneath where your nose would be, reaching up, opening that chest, opening the shoulders. Exhale the hand back down, reaching up with your right, and then placing that hand back down. Take an inhale, exhale the left hand up, inhale the left hand down, exhale the right arm up, inhale down, once more, reaching up with the left, place that hand down, last time with the right, place that hand down, reach the arms wide if your back is fine, weight is forwards in the balls of your feet, breathing in, reaching up, bringing the hands to prayer, turn your front foot forwards, and you're back in warrior 2. Windmill the arms forwards, stepping back to plank pose. So from here, You can either drop your knees to the floor and your chest to the floor and come through to Cobra, or if you know Chaturanga Dandasana, you can choose to do that option, and Upward Dog. Tucking the toes under, Downward Facing Dog. Stepping the right foot through between the hands, and then taking a breath in, sweeping the arms up, and we're back to runner's lunge on the other side. So from there, we're going to take 3 knee dips. So the left knee bends and gently touches the floor, and then straightens. So bend to the floor and straighten. Lower to the floor and straighten. Then reaching forwards with the chest and the arms, and then straightening that front leg, sweeping the arms back to your hips. And from there, once you've got your balance, we're taking 3 knee dip bends. So 1 and straighten. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Gently stepping back to your runner's lunge, and then from there opening into Warrior 2. So checking that front knee is out, back heel towards the back of your mat, back is long, hips tucked under, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg, gliding forwards and tilting into triangle pose. Remembering to keep that top hip back as far as you can, and then coming back up to Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, turn your front foot forwards as you straighten your leg. I'm just going to turn around, and then you're going to sweep your arms around behind your back, open across the front of your chest, lift your heart to the sky or the ceiling, take a breath in, and as you exhale, folding forwards, knees straight or bent, letting your arms fall away from your back. Don't force them. Maybe have a little roll around of your shoulders just to try and relax anything that might be tense. And just let gravity do the work. Taking a breath in, coming up halfway, resting the hands on your back, reaching the arms wide and bringing them all the way up as you inhale. Exhaling the hands to prayer, turning your right foot forwards and coming back into your Warrior 2. I'm just going to turn around, windmill the hands forwards and step back to plank pose. So you choose your vinyasa, so either knees, chest and chin, or if you'd like to come with me, rocking forwards, going halfway down into Chaturanga Dandasana, and either Upward Dog or Cobra, and back to Downward Facing Dog. Take a breath here. And then stepping your left foot through between your hands, sweeping the arms up, and we're back in our runner's lunge. So hips sinking downwards, both feet grounded into the floor, pressing back through your back heel. Okay, we're going to repeat the knee dips, so down for 1 and 2 and 3, reaching forwards with your chest and your arms, stepping up, reaching the arms back, So from here, this time, rather than the knee bends, we're going to do 3 toe taps. So toes just touch the floor and then come back up. Just touch the floor and back up. Breathing in, exhale up. Gently back into your runner's lunge. Opening into warrior 2. Checking that front knee is going outwards, not caving inwards. Reverse your warrior. Coming forwards into, this time, a side angle bend. And if you want to, you can take your hand down to your ankle or to the floor, but your hips must come with you. Coming back to warrior 2, reverse your warrior, straighten that front leg, turning your left toes forwards and forward fold. Hands to the floor, crown of the head towards the floor. Maybe your legs can stay a little straighter this time. Maybe your head will reach a little further towards the floor. And then coming up halfway, right hand underneath your nose, exhaling the left arm up, opening the chest, placing the left hand down, reaching up with the right, placing that hand down, twice more each side. Inhale down, exhale up. Last time each side. Inhaling the arm down, exhale the arm up, placing that hand back on the floor, reaching the arms wide, coming up through your 5-pointed star, hands to prayer, turning the left toes out, and we're back to warrior 2. Windmill the hands forwards, stepping back to plank pose. You could simply stay in plank and meet us in downward dog, or you can do your vinyasa, meet us in upward dog or cobra, to downward facing dog. Stepping your right foot through between your hands, sweeping the arms up as you take a breath in. Runner's lunge, sinking those hips as low as they'll go, making sure that your knee is above your heel. Don't let your knee go in front of your heel or in front of your toes. Then reaching forwards with your chest and your arms, stepping up into warrior 3. 3 toe taps. Inhale the toes down, exhale the foot up. Inhale down, exhale up. One more. Exhale up, bending the front knee, sweeping the arms up, stepping back to runner's lunge. Opening into warrior 2. Checking that front knee is going outwards. Reverse your warrior, coming forwards into your side angle pose. Your version, so either elbow on knee or reaching down for the floor, but make sure your hips come with you. Coming back to warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Straighten the front legs. Turn the right toes inwards. I'm just going to turn around. Reaching the arms around behind you, linking the fingers, opening the chest, lift your heart to the sky, taking a breath in and folding forward slowly and letting gravity take your arms away from your back. Nice deep breaths. Maybe give the neck a bit of a shake out. And when we're convinced that our arms are not quite going to touch the floor today, we take a breath in, come halfway up, reach the arms out to the sides, breathing in all the way up, hands to prayer, turn your right toes out and coming back to your warrior two. Windmill the hands forwards so you end up in plank pose and your vinyasa. So knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward dog or cobra, to downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out here. Take some nice deep breaths and walk your feet towards your hands. Bend your knees and sweep your arms up into chair pose. So hips should be sinking down towards the heels, weight more in the heels than the toes. And then we're going to bring the hands to the chest. And we're going to take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. We'll twist. Try not to let the knees or one knee pop in front of the other. Try and keep your knees level. Coming back to chair. Twisting the other way. So left elbow to the outside of right knee. Again, trying to keep those knees level. Easier said than done. Reaching back up to chair pose. Now, if you can, you're going to come up onto your toes, still in chair, bringing the hands to your chest, still on your toes. We're going to try that twist to the left, keeping up on your toes, coming back to chair pose, reaching the arms high, still on your toes if you can, refresh your legs if you need to, bringing the hands to your chest and twisting to the right, still on your toes if you can, squeeze the knees together, and then coming back to chair pose. We're going to come all the way up to Tadasana, and then finally lower the heels. Well done if you managed to do that without falling over. Then taking a breath in and folding forwards, stepping back to plank pose. So your vinyasa, knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward dog or cobra, to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Then coming forwards over the top of plank pose. And just holding plank pose is really good for your core strength. So belly button to spine, pressing the floor away with your hands, shoulders away from ears, upper back lifted, thighs and knees lifted, heels pressing back. Then using as much of your body as you need to, you're going to lower all the way down to the floor. You're going to move your hands so they make kind of little goal posts. Chin resting on the floor. As you take your next breath in, you're going to lift the chest, lift the arms, let them hover, and then as you exhale, lower them back to the floor. Let's try that again. So take an inhale, hover them there, and exhale to the floor. Okay, this time, as you inhale, you're going to lift the legs as well as the arms. So inhaling up, lifting arms and legs, and lowering back down. So as you lift your legs, you should be engaging those glute muscles. Squeeze your bum, And again, so lifting up. And this time, if you're able to, on your next exhale, rather than lowering, reach your arms alongside your hips. And on your next inhale, see if you can lift a little higher. As you exhale, bring the arms back and lower to the floor. Let's try that again. So, lifting up as you inhale. Exhale the arms alongside. Inhale the arms back. And lower to the floor. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Sitting back to a child's pose. Taking a breath in, top of cat, dropping the belly, opening the chest into pose of the cow, and then back into pose of the cat, dropping down into pose of the cow once more. This time you're going to look over your right shoulder. See if you can spot your right hip and toes. Come back to the centre, looking back over your left shoulder and your left hip and toes, and coming back to the centre. Once more into cat, really lifting that spine, belly button to spine, and once more into pose of the cow. So tucking the back toes under, lifting the hips, walking the feet towards the hands, crossing at the ankles and coming down onto your back. So we're going to have a look at opening the hips now. So have your left leg bent with the foot flat on the floor, cross your right ankle on the outside of your left knee, and just encourage that right knee to open as much as it can. Then, holding the back of your thigh, your left thigh, drawing that leg towards your chest. So it's sort of a squeeze and then let go. Squeeze it in and let go. If you can manage to get your hands around the front of your shin, your left shin, even better, and squeeze that leg in even tighter. Maybe using your right elbow to keep that right knee out as far as it will. Probably feeling this in the outside of your right hip right now. So squeeze it in and let it go. Squeeze it in and let it go. This time squeeze it in and hold. Nice deep breath in and exhale and lower that foot to the floor. Change legs, so right foot to the floor, left ankle on the outside of right knee. Draw that thigh in towards you. Give it a bit of a squeeze, see how it's feeling. Maybe reaching round to the front of your shin. And then giving this a squeeze. Certainly feeling that in the outside of my left hip. So this is called reverse pigeon. So try and keep your back central on the floor rather than rolling over to one side. And then give it a final squeeze in, hold that squeeze, relax what you can relax, and then let that foot come to the floor. Cross your right leg over the top of your left, and then place your arms out to the sides and roll your knees over to the left hand side, head to the right. Try and keep that shoulder in contact with the floor. So this is just a little counter stretch here.
And then coming back to the centre, cross your left leg over your right and let the knee drop to the right, looking over to the left hand side, trying to keep that left shoulder in contact with the floor. It might mean that you need to move your arm to a more comfortable position. Coming back to the centre, give your knees a hug towards your chest, maybe rock side to side, give your lower back a massage, maybe go round and round both ways, and then maybe crossing at the ankles and whichever way you're comfortable, coming up to a seated. So stretching both legs out in front of you, maybe just lifting yourself up on your hands and sitting forwards of your sit bones, bringing your right foot into your left thigh and the knee outwards. If that doesn't suit you, you can place your foot by your calf, or you can simply cross at the ankles if it's not good for your knee. Otherwise, flex the foot of your straight leg. We're just going to take a twist towards the bent knee, looking over the back shoulder, and then coming back towards the straight leg, and just having a little walk down, reaching your chest forwards towards your toes rather than just collapsing towards the leg. So we're reaching the crown of the head forwards, the chest forwards. Try not to pull too much on either your leg or your ankle or your foot if you can reach it, because if you pull too much, you'll make the muscles want to contract, and therefore you won't get any benefit from the stretch. So try just to find your maximum and then just hold it there. So we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths once you've reached your maximum. So breathing in and exhaling slowly. Breathing in and exhale. And what I do is, as I breathe in, I find I come slightly away from the stretch, and as I exhale, I breathe into the stretch. And then slowly walking back up your leg. Just cross that foot over your left knee, reach round with your left arm, and then place the right hand behind you and have a little twist. Breathing nice and deeply, and then coming back to the centre and change legs. So left foot to your right thigh, or wherever it is that you find comfortable. Twisting towards the bent leg first, looking round behind you, reaching tall through the crown of your head. Coming back, facing that straight leg and just having a little walk forward. So chest and crown of head towards toes. Don't just collapse. Belly button to spine. Find your maximum. And then take 3 nice long breaths. So breath in, breath out towards the stretch. Breath in, maybe coming away slightly, and breath out towards the stretch. Breath in, remember we're reaching long, not collapsing. Just hold that last stretch. And then coming back up, crossing the left foot over the outside of the right knee, reaching round with the right arm, placing the left hand behind you, twisting round to look over your shoulder. So again, tall spine, reaching long,
with a twist. Coming back to the centre, placing both feet out straight, flex those toes. Can you lift your heels off the mat? And then taking a breath in, reaching high, folding forwards. Remember, chest and head reaching long, don't just collapse. Find your maximum, belly button to spine. Don't pull too hard, try and relax. And then 3 breaths here. Last one. Hold that stretch. And then gently walking the hands back. Place the hands behind your hips. Point your toes. If you want to, lift those hips up off the floor. Maybe look up or let the head drop gently. And then gently place the hips back on the floor. And then we're going to lie on our backs. And bringing the knees in. Going to hug the knees to the chest. Give that back a little massage. Send the right leg away, place the left foot on top of the right thigh. Take that knee across your body. A nice stretch. And then coming back to the centre, both knees in, give them a hug. Send the left knee away. Place the right foot on top of the left thigh. Take that knee across your body. And just enjoy that stretch. Coming back to the centre. Both knees in. Give them a hug. Send them away. Palms facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. Just letting all those muscles that you've been using relax. Taking a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just soften everything into your mat. Maybe give your shoulders a roll back and down. Maybe give your hips a bit of a shake, your neck a bit of a shake. Once more, nice deep breath in. And exhale slowly. Just let everything go. Let your mind go blank. Just for a moment. You don't often get that chance. Make the most of it now. Now you can stay here as long as you like, just press the pause button. But if you've got your day to continue with, then come with me, drawing the feet underneath the knees, rolling them over to one side, bringing that arm over, gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, rolling the shoulders back and down a couple of times, taking a breath in, reaching high, bringing the hands to prayer, and namaste. I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me. If you liked it, please press the like button. Please send me any comments, anything you'd like to see in the next video. And thank you for watching Yoga with Maggie.